Hello everyone, how are you all? You okay? Today I'm going to be talking about COVID-19. I do just want to say that I'm going to be reading from my notes, to be quite honest. What it is, I have autism, and sometimes trying to recall experiences like this can be very difficult for me. So I've popped my reading glasses on. I've got sit back and get yourself a cup of coffee or a cup of tea or something stronger if you want, because it is several pages long. There is going to be some clips as well, but I need to use notes. Okay, so here we go. Right, it's going to probably sound like I'm reading from a book, but I hope you find it interesting and it helps you or anything like that at all. Basically, I do want to say that there is some swearing in the video, so please do be mindful of that in case that offends anybody. I also just want to do a little bit of a disclaimer that if you are experiencing symptoms of feeling unwell, please get medical advice. It's better to be safe than sorry. This is basically, it's just a story about when I had COVID, and that basically, I think, considering all of my existing health problems, I was really lucky that I wasn't more unwell, which, to be honest, I'm really grateful for. So, okay, well, let's get straight into it. We're going to have a little mouthful of coffee. Well, I am. Oh. I've been having a lot of problems with my camera, everyone. I don't know what's been going on, but if it's a bit choppy, that's because I've had to edit it. It's just not happy. It's quite stormy outside, so I don't know. Is that going to do something? I am using a remote control to turn it on and off. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, look, let's get into it. First of all, I hope you've got a sense of humour. My daughter sent me this. I hope it doesn't breach any copyrights or anything naughty. It's supposed to just be funny, fair use and all of that, whatever it is. I mean, look what she sent, look. Oh, isn't she cheeky? Anyway, just thought I'd share that with you. Okay, so right now, on the Friday, let's get into my story about COVID-19. Okay, well, basically it was Friday, and I wasn't feeling very well, but it wasn't I feel really unwell. I just didn't feel 100%. And one of those days where, you're not fantastic, but you just sort of go about your day. Do you know, one of those, not enough to, as I was saying, to, make you think, oh, I feel so rough. But I didn't feel great. So anyway, it was about late afternoon, and I decided to go to Tesco's, my local Tesco's. And I needed some milk, bread, a few other bits and pieces. And, well, to be honest, I fancied a cake as well. So now, this is when it's all going to sound a bit, all right, you okay? But it was all a bit sudden. I got in there and I was walking up the first aisle and, well, I started to feel quite dizzy. And I took a few deep breaths. I took some breaths and I felt okay again, and I felt like the dizziness was, going away. But I also started to feel, quite warm, and I felt a headache coming on. And I'm not one of these people that gets headaches. It's very rare that I get one. And to be honest, it's one of the few things I haven't got wrong with me. But anyway, as I say, I didn't feel brilliant, but I managed to get done what I needed to do. I was just out of sorts. So, I grabbed the milk, but I decided to leave the bread and the cake, and I went home and I thought, well, for me to leave the cake, I'm not 100%. Well, the good thing is I live fairly near to a lot of my local superstores, so I was home quite quickly, and I'm glad about that, because I will not drive if I don't feel well. I just think, your decision-making process is altered and everything. And I think unless you feel you're safe to drive, don't. So anyway, I got home. And as I was saying, I felt a bit off, for want of a better expression, but okay. having said that, I did decide to sit down for the evening and have an early night. I don't know why, but I also decided to do, you know, a lateral flow test, and I've been doing those throughout the pandemic, and purely because, you know, with, you know, my health, especially, you know, my lungs, well, we was just expecting, you know, when, not, you know, not if. So I did a lateral flow to see if I had COVID, but it clearly showed up as negative. So on the Friday it was completely negative. Negative. I thought, well, you must have just picked up, you know, a little bug or something, because, you know, not everything has to be COVID. So I think that's why, you know, I expected to get up the following day, you know, feeling absolutely fine, no problem at all. Well, that didn't happen. So the following day, being the Saturday, I got up and I knew I was unwell. You know, I felt hot, I had a sore throat, my body literally ached, you know, down to the bones. You know, like if you get really cold, your bones hurt, but the opposite was I felt hot and, you know, my bones ached, my nose felt bunged up. I definitely knew I had shortness of breath, I had a bit of a cough, and I was genuinely feeling not okay. I thought, oh no, this was different to how I felt yesterday. So I thought, well, I'll do another lateral flow test. I thought, well, it has to be something else, because I was, you know, I was negative yesterday, and then, you know, I thought, well, realistically, that doesn't mean that, you know, you're not going to get it the following day. So sure enough, I thought, well, I'll just check. Well, I watched the test, and in literally, I mean, it was less than a second it showed up positive. Bang, clear as day. And I thought, well, perhaps I'd had the start of it on Friday but didn't know, because obviously the test was negative then. So, you know, I didn't know, but it was definitely showing positive today, being the Saturday. I will say that although I felt unwell, you know, it says here I didn't get much worse as the day went on. I was expecting to go downhill fast. As I say, you know, I'm banging on about my health problems, but we really expected it, you know. My body, we felt, would not be able to take on COVID-19 if, as and when I got it. Yeah, I've got, yeah, literally said, you know, my immune system just wouldn't be able to fight it, and that I'd probably be in hospital needing medical care. I do want to say that although I wasn't feeling great, one of the things I found really difficult was this extreme tiredness. I thought, why am I so tired? And I've got here that I also want to mention that I was so thirsty. Now, I get thirsty. I mean, if you watch any of my videos, it's not unusual to see me have a glass of blackcurrant squash or a cup of coffee. I do get thirsty, and that's not just because I'm talking. But this was, you know, like I'd been doing exercise, or it was suddenly really hot. You know, the weather, I mean. I was just so thirsty. And, you know, normally with a sore throat, I think we all know drinking can be uncomfortable, but it was just, oh, I've just got to keep drinking. I mean, that's good that I was drinking a lot, but it was a bit excessive, if I'm being honest. Anyway, now, during the day, I made sure I looked after myself. I took pain relief, used my asthma inhalers, rested in my chair. I didn't want to lie down in bed in case I needed to, because I know, being someone that used to work in the medical field, you know, I've sort of done a bit of all sorts. You know, I've sung, I've danced, I've worked in offices, I've worked in the medical field, I've done a bit of all sorts. And there's one thing I know, and that is you've got to look after your lungs. So I thought, well, I'll sit in the chair, and at least if I nod off, I nod off, doesn't matter, does it? So, you know, throughout the day I felt unwell, I kept blowing my nose, sore throat, feeling hot, cold, and, you know, as I was saying before, I was aching all over. I was also coughing more. I'd noticed that my cough had started to change and it was getting drier, and it was concerning me, but not enough to get medical help. It was just concerning me because I've had pneumothoraxis before, which is a collapsing of the lung, and you know, where a hole develops in the lining. You can research that more. I've kind of just done it in a way that, you know, makes sense. You know, we don't need to access a medical directory. It is just, you know, I've had pneumothoraxes leading to collapsed lungs. I've probably said it all the wrong way round, but it doesn't matter. So I was really concerned, if I'm being honest, because I'm also, you know, very badly asthmatic. So I didn't want my lungs struggling, and that was the time I did start to feel that I was worried. And just because I'm autistic, it doesn't mean that I don't get worried. Especially if something's out of my control, things can become quite heightened, and you know, I can be overly worried about something and not be able to cope with that worrying. And because, you know, at the end of the day, you can't just fix your body, can you? You can't just, and you're all right. So I did notice that change, that, oh, I wasn't so good anymore. By the end of the day, I suppose it was coming up to early evening, I did decide to go to bed. You know, apparently I've made a note saying that I felt so tired and drained. I was managing my illness. My daughter kept ringing me with, you know, telephone morale support. I thought, oh, if I've reached the point where I'm in bed, that seemed comforting and restful, but I was concerned about it. I don't like taking to my bed, and, you know, I did get some rest, but I was definitely, you know, very wheezy and short of breath during the night. You know, that needed my inhalers a lot more. But, you know, I must have dozed off because, you know, it was morning when I woke up, and it was then I thought, oh, I'm starting to need a little bit more help than what I'd been doing so far. So I thought, okay, well, this is the time to, you know, start using my medical knowledge. And I knew that the most important thing was to get my shortness of breath under control, because if I couldn't do that, I knew I'd have to go to the hospital. And who wants to go to hospital? You know, I've spent a lot of my life in hospitals, at hospitals, medical stuff, and that's the last thing that, you know, that I wanted. And, you know, yeah, hospitals are great, but I think we all know, you know, there's nothing quite like, you know, basically being at home. It's better, isn't it, everyone, you know? So have a little coffee. So, here we go. Right, now, so we're on to the Sunday, and as I said, you know, I was getting a bit concerned about the shortness of breath, so I thought, right, I've got to have a plan of action, because, you know, it takes a lot to make me go, no, I need hospital. I'm like, no, I'm going to really try and sort this out myself if I can. And I think because the area that I worked in was looking after people that were, you know, very ill, my background knowledge really helped. But this is where, you know, I must really stress that if at any point you think, oh, hang on, I don't have that knowledge, and oh, I'm not sure what's happening to my body, you really must get yourself checked, you know, not even just because it's COVID-19, but because of anything that might be worrying you, you know. So anyway, you know, I'm retired, but that doesn't mean that you don't retain a lot of that knowledge. Anyway, guys, sorry. So yeah, I'd established that I was feeling worse than yesterday with the shortness of breath. I was very wheezy during the night, you know, sort of repeating myself, but I just want to sort of say how quickly my health changed. I'd gone from, oh, well, you know, I'm a bit off colour to, oh, hang on, I really don't feel that well. So I knew my breathing, first thing, needed to get that sorted. I've got a friend, she'd bought one of these humidifiers, you know, gives off like a mist into the air, and she didn't use it, it was brand new, and bless her heart, she ended up giving it to me. I thought, well, I'm going to set this up, that would be absolutely fantastic for me to see if I can get this wheezing under control. And you know, it was really quick, easy to set up, and you know, because when you are feeling unwell and shortness of breath, you don't want to be messing about with working something new out and thinking, oh, how many manuals and instructions do I need for this? So I would recommend, I've actually made a note, I'd personally recommend the warm mist humidifier, and it was really good. Absolutely. I'm not saying it turned things around, because if you're going to get really unwell, you're going to get really unwell. But I just felt I got a bit lucky. I will say, maybe for once, I got a bit lucky. There was a warm mist, it came literally pouring out of it. It was a bit like a kettle. It was just this gush of mist. I thought, blimey. And what I did was I was using my steroid inhalers with it. I was trying to recreate very badly the effect of a nebulizer, which is what you use for when someone is having problems with asthma. But that's what we used to use. I mean, it might not be anymore, but I'm sure it is, or something similar. And I must say, doing that, you know, getting these steroids down into my lungs via this mist, and I have a special like tube thing, there is a proper name, totally gone out of my head. I did find, oh hang on, this is really helping me inhale and get the air right down into my lungs. So, and I was definitely starting to breathe better. You know, I was very careful how I positioned myself over it, 'cause, you know, I don't want to get, you know, burnt whilst I was pumping my inhaler up in the air. But I just needed to get the medicine into my lungs. So now, you know, again, as I'm saying, you know, this isn't the same as being in hospital, because, you know, nebulizers do use prescribed drugs that, you know, get into your lungs with inhalation and masks. It's a whole, you know, totally different thing, which I've had before. But, you know, I will say this was definitely helping me. I think if I'd been any worse, it would have been a waste of time. But I think the point that I was at, it worked for me. So it was at that point where I was thinking, oh, I can take a proper breath in, and I wasn't feeling frightened that I couldn't breathe properly. So I did start to feel a little bit better. And, you know, I sat there for quite a while doing this, but obviously, you know, safely. And I knew I'd got my breathing back under control. I thought, marvellous. I spent the day doing this on and off. You know, I wanted to maintain things. And I will say, I also slept a lot. I was just so tired. It was like, you know, snore fest are us at my house. And I don't know what was worse, me or the dog. And I will say that this tiredness felt different to having the flu. I feel having the flu totally knocked me off my feet. This was close, but it was the turnaround was a lot closer. I just sort of found that, again, I don't know if I just got lucky with my experience and symptoms of COVID-19, but I found the more I was sleeping, looking after myself, resting, you know, having all of these fluids, you know, drinks, and using this mist, my inhalers, it really helped me. My appetite wasn't too good, but, you know, I did manage to have a snack, as I say, you know, drinking plenty. I do know that being hydrated, like a lot of us do, that's, you know, really important in helping the body heal. You know, but, you know, you mustn't overdrink, because that can be just as bad, can't it? Yeah, so again, I was still having some, you know, paracetamol pain relief, which helped me. I did still have the headache, but, you know, my head also, you know, felt really sort of, you know, muggy. I couldn't think properly. And it's sort of hard to explain, but it was as though my brain just couldn't be bothered. It was just, you know, sort of, oh, no, I can't be bloody bothered. And I think, you know, the most I felt like I wanted to do was just watch DVDs. My daughter had some delivered for me, and you know, my decision-making process had just gone out the window. It's as though even deciding what DVD to watch was becoming an effort. You know, it just disappeared. Just sit there, have a drink, and she says, dropping a bit of paper. I'm all right, everyone. So yeah. What else have we got? I went to bed early again that evening. Woke up a couple of times in the night, you know, because I was thirsty, or just needed a, you know, change of position in bed, but not doing so bad. We're on to Monday. I woke up quite late that morning, and I think my body must have just needed to have just slept, but I was still tired. This was the thing I'd say throughout, you know, the wheeziness, the being tired, and this constant, you know, being thirsty. I made myself a cup of coffee, you know, I sat in my chair, made a coffee, and I sat down, you know, as I sat down in my chair. And I started to drink my coffee, and I thought, oh, what's going on? I thought, it was a new symptom. I couldn't even taste it. It had completely gone, and I've never experienced losing my taste. I've lost my sense of smell, but I've never lost my sense of taste. And it was the weirdest feeling. It was so odd. Drinking this cup of coffee, but I couldn't taste anything. Absolutely nothing. Couldn't taste a thing. As I say, you know, I'm used to losing my sense of smell. You know, especially if I've got a cold or my hay fever's bad. But losing my taste, not something I've encountered. It's, as I say, it's no big deal. It was just odd. I had some toast, Marmite, that had no taste, and Marmite's got a pretty strong taste, but I felt like someone had stolen my taste buds in the night. It sounds a bit silly, doesn't it? But it was just so odd getting up that morning and my taste buds are gone. Anyway, the rest of the day went on, and I was still experiencing, you know, a sore throat, cough. What else have we got? I was still thirsty, generally feeling poorly. Shortness of breath was being helped with the humidifier, with my asthma inhalers. I did go to bed quite early still though, and I sat and watched films in bed. Whereas the couple of nights before, all I'd done is wanted to go to sleep. So, you know, I was sort of, I felt turning a bit of a corner. So combination of Tuesday, Wednesday, I didn't get any worse. I stayed pretty much the same, and I just did my best, you know, to make sure I rested. I don't think I can say too much more about Tuesday really. So Wednesday, I woke up in the morning feeling a lot more better. You know, I'd even go as far as to say that, so I've got to turn the page, I was feeling more like my old self. The sore throat had gone, maybe a little bit of loss of taste, still tired. I was still, I'm thirsty, sorry. You know, still had this bunged up nose, you know, but you know, I'm not complaining, but it's just something odd. And you know, I do suffer with depression, but this was slightly different. Come the afternoon, I started to feel down, but it was a different sort of down. I just sort of felt quite, you know, mopey, quite, you know, just, and I know it was probably due to having, you know, COVID, because, you know, I was still feeling unwell, and, you know, no one likes being unwell, but I don't know if just things had caught up with me. It was just, you know, maybe I was feeling out of sorts. I was still, you know, worried about, you know, actually having COVID, where it could go. Was I feeling better, or was it going to get worse? I don't know, I was just totally out of sorts. But my daughter very kindly with a friend dropped me off a coffee at the window, because obviously I wasn't testing negative, so, you know, I certainly didn't want to expose anybody else. I mean, I know you can go out, but I didn't want to. You know, even though I was feeling a bit better, I just didn't want to no, just no, not my way. Yeah, so a cup of coffee cheered me right up. Cup of coffee will always cheer me up. So okay, we're on to Thursday. This day I woke up quite early and I felt like I'd really turned a corner at that point. And you know, so I was feeling so much better. So I just want to say, if you come here to hear about me being at death's door, that's not going to happen. It is literally it's a positive story with COVID-19. So you know, anyway. Apart from this still mild loss of taste, still had a bit of a runny nose, tiredness. I knew I was on the road to recovery. I think I've been unwell that much. I know when I'm on the road to recovery. Yeah, I mean, I felt that COVID and I were actually starting to part ways, and that is great because some people have been so seriously ill and sadly lost their life. So I'm sorry if you've experienced that. Yeah, I'm sorry. Anyway, so for the rest of the Thursday I potted about, but then I decided to do a lateral flow test. This showed as negative, which I then did again, and I did it 2 hours apart, and that was negative as well. You know, when I think that on the Saturday I was testing positive, and then literally Thursday I was testing negative, that was such a, you know, I've got here, you know, that was literally, you know, less than a week later. I mean, I can't moan about that. I did want to make sure that, you know, I was negative, so I did do another test, even though, you know, the rules had changed and everything. You know, as I said a minute ago, I don't want to make someone else unwell. So, yeah, basically, that's it so far. What I'm going to do, I'm going to, what have I got here? Yeah, I'm going to insert some video clips filmed on my phone. They're all bunched together of, you know, when I got COVID-19, and then once you've seen those, I'll share my closing thoughts about, you know, what I sort of thought about it all. So, okay, yeah, I hope you enjoy the wrong word. I hope you find it okay watching my video clips. Okay, and please remember there might be swearing. Okay, thank you. Well, hello everyone. I've got COVID. I'm not too well, so I'm using this humidifier that my friend gave me. I'm not sure if I'll upload this. Oh, sounds like the microwave. I've got everything on. Well, I'm gonna go because I'm a bit short of breath, but I'll be back soon. I don't know why I've said that, because I'm not going anywhere actually. Really don't feel that well. COVID, what a load of old shit. Okay, see you everyone. Bye. Actually, I just thought I'd say, this has so far kept me out of hospital. It's been brilliant. Christ, I look shit. Apologies for the swearing. I just feel quite unwell. I'm alright. COVID? What a load of old shit. God, eh? Actually, I better not keep going. I need all the air I can get at the moment. God, eh? I'll speak to you soon, or I'll do a little update. Hello everyone, just getting back to you, doing a bit better today. Hello Teddy. Teddy wants to say hello. Yeah, doing a bit better today. I'd say, sorry if there's any reflection on the glasses, these are just like short little clips that I'm, you know, just going to include in how I got on with COVID. I've just noticed I've spilt coffee down my top, but just Anyway, yeah, so I feel I'm doing a lot better today. I just feel like I look, ugh, you know, just, I can see I look drained, and it's taken quite a bit out of me actually, but I'm just so grateful that I managed to stay out of hospital. Still tired, still got no appetite. My taste isn't that good. You can hear my voice is still a bit croaky. All in all, you know, I've felt better, but I've been worse in my life. So, you know, I've just realised I am going on the internet looking like this. What? Have you seen all of this? Look. Look, we've got to be able to do a bit better than that, haven't we? Just, no, it's not working, is it? It's not working. Not working, is it, Teddy? Yeah, so, you know, tired, loss of appetite, but I'm not coughing like I was. So, yeah, I'm grateful for that. Well, you know, I think that's going to be it. My little dog has been keeping me company, haven't you, darling? I know. He's such a good boy. So, okay, I'm going to go. I don't know if I'm going to do any more of these, because I just feel I'm repeating myself quite a bit, you know, saying the same old thing. And basically, you know, I'm just going to gradually get better with time. So, yeah, that's it. I hope you're all keeping well, and that COVID hasn't come knocking on your door, because it's certainly taken quite a bit of a I don't know. What am I trying to say, everyone? It's taken it out of me. That's it. It's taken it out of me. Okay, well, look after yourselves. Okay, bye. Bye. Sorry, that was my daughter on the phone. And just to let you know, I don't think any of this is probably going to come together very well. But I just thought I'd give you a realistic of what's going on. It's all filmed on my mobile. Yeah, so my daughter's going to be dropping some bits off for me, and because I don't want to give this to anybody else, even if I feel better, I'm not going to go out until I test negative. I know you can go out. I know the rules have changed, but I just feel, you know, even if in a couple of days I feel okay, I wouldn't want to go out and give it to somebody. So I do want to make sure I'm okay first. I'm still very tired, and I just feel like all I want to do is just keep resting and sitting down. I'm actually been thirstier than I normally am, but I couldn't tell you what any of it tastes like because I've lost my complete taste. I've also lost my sense of smell, and so I don't know if there's much more to report. Managing to look after my little dog okay. In general, things could be a lot worse, considering all the other health problems I have. So yeah, I'm just going to keep chugging along. I might do another one of these, I might not. I'm hoping to have a bit of a chat about it when I feel better. And yeah, so stay well. I hope you don't get COVID. Okay, bye. Okay, so still looking a bit rough, but I feel I can breathe better today. Not quite sure what to say about it. My sore throat's nearly gone. Not wheezing as much. Not coughing as much. And yeah, that's it. Well, hi everyone. Just having a bit of a sit down. I think I'm on, what am I on? It'll be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Well, it's supposed to be day 3, but I knew I was unwell on the Friday. So, Oh, here comes my little dog. Hi, Teddy. So basically, sorry, I lost my track then. That's officially Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Oh, God, I will say, having COVID, this is going to sound wrong, but I'm someone with a very high IQ, and I must admit, every day seems to have just gone into the next. I'd also say very tired, very tired. Appetite so-so. And I am filming this on my phone just because I keep feeling so rough. But I'm having a good moment, and basically I just thought I'd let you know, this is just sort of filming my recovery and journey from having, particularly my doggy, having COVID. But yeah, I do feel like I'm on the mend. Definitely nowhere near coughing like I was. Drinking plenty, but I think the main thing I'm finding is the tiredness. I mean, I have a lot of health problems, but this, I mean, I went to bed and slept. I got up this morning and I fell asleep again for several hours. So I think that's one of the things that I'm sort of dealing with. My bunged up nose is going. Doesn't sound like it, but it is. So yeah, not much else to say. These are just little snippets that I'm thinking about popping into a video of, you know, when I had COVID. And I mean, you know, I managed to go through the whole pandemic, so I can't grumble with the symptoms I'm experiencing. But, you know, I mean, it still can be very worrying having the shortness of breath, because, you know, I do have a lot of things wrong, you know, especially, you know, my lungs. So, you know, I'm just grateful that so far I've managed to stay out of hospital by, you know, using all the medication I've got here and my own medical knowledge. And, but, you know, I'm still very aware that, you know, to be conscious of the, oh, you can get unwell more quicker. I don't know. But anyway, today is a better day, and I'm just hoping that I continue to do well. And if anyone else is going through this, all the best to you. Right, well, I'm going to go and probably got half my face out the shot and God knows what else. But anyway, that's another little snippet into my life being at home with COVID. So I'll catch you later, or probably not. Okay, bye everyone. God, I still look shit. Or should I say, God, I still look rough, but I do have more colour in my face. So that's good, isn't it? And I'm at home. So if I'm at home, that means I'm doing great. That's how I see it. But that's it. Okay, all right, bye. Well, I don't know what you thought. As I say, it was filmed on my iPhone, so I hope the quality was okay, and that my swearing wasn't too bad, and I didn't offend anyone, but you was warned. Anyway, my closing thoughts. My thoughts and feelings on the whole experience are of course going to be totally different to anyone else's, as we're all different, aren't we? Otherwise we wouldn't have different opinions. You know, I think, as I was saying earlier, although I got poorly, you know, unwell, it really could have been so much worse for me. I didn't feel great. It wasn't the best experience, and I'd still say I have times where I'm still feeling tired, but it is a case of, now this might offend people, and I asked my daughter, being autistic, if I should keep this in, and I thought, well, yes I will, and there's a very good reason for it. At the time I went, COVID, is that the best you got? Now let me quickly explain, not that I think I should have to, but I think I better. I'm not being light-hearted and disrespectful, okay? I'm quite aware the virus has killed many people, lots of people are still fighting for their life, some are still fighting the illness, it's changed the world. Oh, I could keep going with what COVID-19 has done. It has devastated things for people in so many ways. Please don't think I'm being light-hearted when I give that expression, is that the best you got? Now, also, on a personal level, my daughter worked in direct contact with COVID during the what have I got? Sorry, I wanted to be very clear because of my autism. I put also on a personal level, my daughter worked in direct contact with COVID during the pandemic, and she still does now. So my daughter actually handles dangerous viruses. All right, so please don't take my comment as being bad. I'm just saying that I've battled really severe bad health problems, and I still do. So it was just nice for once that I didn't have to. I got COVID-19, but I came through it all right. So I felt very lucky that I did. Okay, going back to where I was. Right, yes, I could have definitely been so much worse. I did have all of the COVID vaccinations, which I wasn't sure about, I've got to be honest. I was very, but I had them. Didn't want to worry the life out of my daughter, so I had them done. I had pneumococcal vaccination for my lungs, flu jabs, wore a mask, cleaned and alcoholed my hands regularly, careful where I went, you name it, I did it. And the only thing missing was a hazmat suit, you know, one of those biochemical suits. But I was still lucky. I was still lucky with my symptoms. I was able to carefully manage them with the knowledge I had. What else have I got? The humidifier was great, and it helped with my breathing. And to be honest, I felt like I got a facial at the same time. So could I pinpoint where or when? Dearie me, that sun's come out, everyone. I'm so sorry. I'm absolutely burning up here. And I haven't got COVID. Could I pinpoint where or when I got it? No, I can't. Sorry, there's kiddies playing. Possibility is, first time I took my mask off throughout the whole pandemic, within a week I got COVID. Was it that, or was it coincidence? Who knows? I will say that after having had COVID, I had some blood tests done for something else, and it turned out that I had low folate levels that was giving me a form of anemia. I needed a 3-course month, which I'm still on, of folic acid. I also had other deficiencies. So was that pre-COVID, after COVID, during? I don't know. Well, the main thing is I've recovered from having the virus, and this is a positive COVID story about someone that, you know, managed to get well very quickly. I was very lucky, and I'm very grateful for that. Appreciate you watching, and I hope that by sharing my experience, not only was it interesting, you know, being a positive, more kind of story, it was informative, and it helped you in some way. And, you know, so look after yourselves.